got a song. You've got a song. We've all got a song to sing. Hello everyone, this is Dave Paltz and this is the Fresh Toones Show. When I first started the Fresh Toones Show a little over 4 years ago, I kind of emphasized that I was doing this show to encourage other young artists and musicians to have the confidence to share their ideas and enjoy songwriting. After doing that a while, I kind of forgot that was part of the mission of the Fresh Toones Show. So after 4 years, I'm getting back to it, and today is the first installment of my Writing Your Song theme. And it's part one of many shows I hope to share, at least from my perspective, how I got into songwriting. And I'll be sharing on the last Friday of the month a new part of this theme of writing your songs. And hopefully it'll encourage others and be helpful. Well, before I say too much more, I'd like to play this song. It's a song I learned from the Joan Baez songbook back in 65 or so. But this is where I began to learn how to play guitar. This song was later covered by the rock group The Animals. It's probably the version that I'm most familiar with. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor girl, and me, oh Lord, I'm one. My mother, she's a tailor. She sews those new blue jeans. My husband, he's a gambling man, drinking down in New Orleans. My husband, he's a gambler. He goes from town to town. The only time he's satisfied is when he drinks his liquor down. Go tell my baby sister, never do like I have done. Shun that house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. One foot on the platform, the other's on the train. I'm going down to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Going back to New Orleans, my race is almost run. I'm going to spend the rest of my life beneath the rising sun. It's interesting that a young 13 or 14-year-old could sing the song from a woman's perspective of being a prostitute in New Orleans. But luckily the group The Animals made it acceptable for a male to sing this song. I guess the most important thing is to, if you're starting out, just picking up a guitar and starting to play, is to pick the simplest songs that you know in your mind and you don't have to think about that much. This was a very simple song. And then I'd learn the simple chords by playing them over and over. I didn't have to worry about singing anything perfectly. I could just strum away and sit under a tree and enjoy the breeze and play my guitar. Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael's boat is a music boat. Hallelujah. Michael's boat is a music boat. Hallelujah. Sister, help to trim the sail. Hallelujah. sister helped the trim the sail. Hallelujah. Jordan's river is deep and wide. Hallelujah. Meet my mother on the other side. Hallelujah. Jordan's river is chilly and cold. Hallelujah. It kills the body but not the soul. Hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Well, I grew up listening to a lot of the music of my older sister, who was 17 or 18, and of course she listened to Elvis Presley, but there were new groups coming up and new people playing music that were really big hits on the radio and were played over and over on the WBBF in Rochester. This song was a Buddy Holly song, and it was very simple to learn, and I love playing it and singing it. This one's called Every Day. Well, every day it's a-getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day it's a-getting faster, everyone said. Go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day seems a little longer in every way. My love's a little stronger, come what may. Do you ever long for true love from me? Oh, every day it's a-getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day seems a little longer in every way. Our love's a little stronger, come what may. Do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's a-getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. 'Cause every day it's a-getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day it's a-getting faster, everyone said. Go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day seems a little longer in every way. My love's a little stronger, come what may. Do you ever long for true love from me? Oh, every day it's a-getting closer, going faster than the roller coaster. Love like ours will really come our way. Every day it's a-getting closer, going faster than the roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Love like ours will surely be here to stay. Well, that song was always fun to play. Could play it for many, many times and still have fun playing it. I never had many qualms about styles of different music styles or songwriting styles. And this song I might have picked up from Joan Baez also, from her folk book back from the early 60s. It's called Freight Train. Freight train, run so fast. Freight train, run so fast. Please don't tell what train I'm on, so they won't know what route I've gone. When I'm dead in my grave, no more good times here I'll crave. Place the stones at my head and feet, and tell them all that I've gone to sleep. When I die, Lord, bury me deep, way down on old Chestnut Street, so I can hear old number 9 as she comes rolling by. When I die, Lord, bury me deep, way down on old Chestnut Street. Place the stones at my head and feet, and tell them all that I've gone to sleep. Oh, freight train, run so fast. Freight train, run so fast. Please don't tell what train I'm on, so they won't know what route I've gone. This is the Fresh Toones Show, and today's theme is writing your songs, and today's episode is the first in a series of writing your song shows. And I've been sharing a little bit of how I started out when I was learning how to play guitar, and sharing some of the songs I played. And the songs that I learned how to play were all over the place. There's some rock, there's some folk, there's some gospel, there's some religious songs. Basically anything I could find with just 3 chords probably at the time. I'd learn how to play and strum away on it, keeping them to myself. I wasn't performing them or anything. And this song I just recently updated and started playing. My mom liked this song and she would sing along with me. It's called This Little Light of Mine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day and every way, I'm gonna sing it every day. I'm gonna let this little light shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day and every way, I'm gonna sing it every day. I'm gonna let this little light shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day and every way, I'm gonna sing it every day. I'm gonna let this little light shine. Well, don't you try to foof it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, don't you try to foof it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, Don't you try to foof it out. I'm gonna let it shine every day in every way. I'm gonna sing it every day. I'm gonna let this little light shine. All together now. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine every day in every way. I'm gonna sing it every day. I'm gonna let this little light shine. One more time. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine every day in every way. I'm gonna sing it every day. I'm gonna let this little light shine. Well, on today's show, and the theme is writing your song, and because this is the first episode, I've called it Getting Started. One of the things I failed to emphasize, you've really got to pay attention to the joy that you're feeling when you're playing, even though it might be kind of rough and crude. If you're not enjoying it, it's going to be very hard to progress and get to the point where you want to get. Certainly goals are important to motivate you to progress, but if you're not enjoying it at the time, you probably aren't going to get too far. Sometimes people leave their instrument and come back to it later and realize, I really enjoyed that. I don't know why I pressured myself to have to be perfect and have to be the greatest whatever guitarist. So enjoy it. And it's a step-by-step process, which reminds me of the song I learned early on, and I still play to this day, called Garden Song. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna help this garden grow. All we need is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. And weeds, a picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow our own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find our way in nature's chain. Tune our bodies and our brain to the music from the land. Place your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. An old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feathered thief above. Inch by inch, row by row, oh, to make our garden grow. All we need is a rake and a hoe, a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna help this garden grow. All we need is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. That song by David Mallet was actually written a little later than my earliest days of playing guitar. It certainly was a simple song that kept me rolling as I learned more and more songs. It's probably not a bad idea to look at some real old songs that you have in your head because then you don't have to worry about the words so much. You can focus on the simple guitar playing. I think there's only 3 chords to the whole song, but that's how you increase your abilities to change chords and maybe start singing with the song. This was a song from the mid-1800s by Stephen Foster, Old Susanna. I'm from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left, the weather it was dry. The sun so hot I froze to death, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I had a dream the other night when everything was still. I dreamt I saw Susanna, she was a-comin' down the hill. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. A red rose was in her cheek, a tear was in her eye. I said to her, Susanna, girl, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Well, we're almost out of time for today's Fresh Toones Show and the episode 1 of Writing Your Songs, Getting Started. I'm going to jump ahead here about 50 years and share one of my recent songs with you. It's called Everywhere But Here, and what I've been emphasizing in this episode today is to be present when you're practicing and enjoying the actual playing of the guitar and hearing your own vibrations go out into the universe. Be aware of that, because if you're not there, you're nowhere at all. It'll be hard to get out of that rut if you're always thinking of where you want to be or how famous you want to be. Mostly focus on where you are right at that moment playing the music. This is a new song of mine called Everywhere But Here. We're nowhere at all, and we're everywhere but here. We're nowhere at all, when we're everywhere but here. Walking through the woods, music pounding in my ears. The brook right next to me called out for me to hear. It said, we're nowhere at all, if we're everywhere but here. We're nowhere at all, if we're everywhere but here. Flipping through my phone as I stumble through the woods. A creature looked up at me, whispered, leave that and become. We're nowhere at all, and we're everywhere but here. We're nowhere at all, when we're everywhere but here. Sitting with the family, watching a comedy, laughing at how silly things are, and then it came to me as it, we're nowhere at all, and we're everywhere but here. We're nowhere at all, when we're everywhere but here. The wheels are spinning, my brain is spinning. Got to rush there before, and then that voice spoke once more. It said, we're nowhere at all, and we're everywhere but here. We're nowhere at all, and we're everywhere but here. But here. It took me many years to figure that out, that I was nowhere at all if I'm everywhere but here. As I'm jumping around with different time periods of songs written by others, maybe I'll jump from this recent song of mine back 50 years to this song that I wrote in the early 70s. And it was recorded on one of those little rinky-dink cassettes, had a little teeny mic on it. But I'm usually not afraid to share where I started from, even though the sound quality isn't there. And now I realize how important they were to this whole process of becoming a songwriter and doing it for 50 years. This song is called I Enjoy Singing My Songs.
I enjoy singing my songs. You probably think I sing most of them wrong. I know I sing them out of key, but that's part of my songs and that's part of me.
Well, I really went out on a limb sharing that song. That's it for the Fresh Toones Show today. I hope I've encouraged some folks to maybe pick up a guitar or some other instrument and maybe taking those first steps towards writing your own song someday. Have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the show today. And next month, on the last Friday of the month, I'll be having another episode of Writing Your Songs, and I'll actually share the very first song that I ever wrote. So tune in then and check it out. This is the Fresh Toones Show.
Who you are, who you are, who you are, the song